Thank you. Tremendous effort on your first picture. It was fantastic, so much. I've been trying to acquire it illegally for a long time, and now you made my life a lot easier. But seriously, fantastic effort, thank you. The question is two parts. How do you think it will resonate in the Arab world? And on the other side, how do you think the everyday American that might see this film will react? And did you find yourself, as you were making the film, swaying in one direction or the other? Because you try to not make it political, you try not to not give any sort of sway on either side, but did you yourself, as you were filming, lean towards one way or other as you were filming?
You know, I think everyone has their personal politics, and I certainly do. But at the same time, you know, I felt like, you know, it's interesting. You know, I do have personal politics about what I think should happen at Guantanamo Bay. But at the same time, I think the overriding sentiment I had about this film was just generally sympathy for both sides. Like, it's you know, for me, very obvious to feel sympathetic for the detainees because it's a very messed up situation, and just the lack of a, you know, that disregard for a writ of habeas corpus to me is kind of very egregious. You know, just the lack of a trial is kind of, to me, just a baseline kind of problem down there. But in doing the research, I found myself also very sympathetic for the soldiers, because these guys are the bottom of the totem pole. They don't make this policy. And when I was doing the research, I found that nobody really likes it down there. You know, they don't want that job. And that's why we reflected that in that scene with the colonel, just being like, I hate it here. You know, this is not what the Army was meant to do, but we got this stupid mission to do it. And in terms of reaction in the States, it has largely been what I said, people, I think, understanding that human connection being the main core of it. But as I also said, there have been a very small but loud minority of people who actually, I think, haven't seen the film, but have been told by someone else that, oh, this is like making soldiers out to be the bad guy, you know? And so there's always, it's interesting, you know? The issue is so divisive that I think people will look at it one way or the other and make it support whatever agenda they have. As for the reaction in the Middle East or the Gulf or any of the Arab world, I really don't know. That's part of the reason I was so interested to come here and share it with you all, because, you know, I'm hopefully wise enough to know that I don't have an accurate perspective of what it must be like to live here, or to watch this, experience this film, or to experience the larger political issue as a whole. That's why making this film, I very consciously felt I had to tell the point of view of an American soldier, you know, because that's really the only way I could honestly approach the situation.